Hey traders, and welcome back to another lesson. Hi traders, welcome back to another lesson. This lesson is going to cover how you can plot custom bars and candles onto your chart. This is going to be a very short lesson. It's not very complicated. At least not what we're going to do in this lesson. You can certainly do more complicated things with this information if you want to. So the first thing we're going to cover is the plot candle function. So let me save the script and add it to my chart. So here we have our own box drawing. Now I'm going to use the plot candle function. And this function takes regular price action data. So we need an open, a high, a low, and a close. So this plot candle function takes an open, a high, a low, and a close. We also have a bunch of other parameters there that we'll get to in a moment. But for now, let's just plot regular price action onto our chart. So we're going to reference the open, high, low, and close. Now let me save the script. And here we have candles drawing onto the chart, mimicking price action, but they all have the same default blue color. So if we want to change the color of the candle based on whether it's bullish or bearish, we need to create a color variable that changes based on that information. So to do that, I'm going to create a variable called C for color. And that C variable is going to be set to, and then we're going to use one of those ternary conditional operators again. If you haven't watched the previous lessons, I've shown a few examples of this, so make sure to check them out if I lose you here. But what we're going to do here is we're going to say, is the closing price of the current bar greater than its opening price? If so, we have a bullish bar. And we want to set C, the variable C, to color.green. Otherwise, we want to set it to color.red because it must be bearish, or at least a doji candle, in which case it doesn't matter because we won't see the candle body anyway. So now we can pass this C variable into our color parameter plot candle function. So I can say color equals C. Now when I save the script, we'll be having our candles change color based on whether or not they are bullish or bearish, just like price action up here. So you could obviously plot whatever data you wanted to onto your chart. It doesn't need to be the open, high, low, and close. It could be indicator values. You could turn certain indicators into candlestick charts if you wanted to. You can basically plot anything you want as a candlestick, assuming it has an open, high, low, and close equivalent data set. But now, before we move on to the plot bar function, let's cover a few of these other parameters. So we obviously have title, which we've covered a few times now. It's just the title of this plot function. Whatever we're plotting, whatever we're drawing to the chart has a name, a title. This is the title in the settings menu. We also have a color, which we just covered. We have wick color, so you can change the wick color if you want to. Let's set ours to color.orange, for example, just because why not? Now you can see that all of our wicks have turned orange. You could change the wick color based on the candle as well. So we could set this to C. So bullish and bearish candles will have a different wick color, like you see there. So you can modify the wick color. You can set editable to true or false, which just means that the user cannot change any of these parameters in the settings menu. I've already covered that in previous lessons. I've also covered show last in previous lessons, so I won't cover that one. And I've also covered display in previous lessons, so we won't cover that either. They all function the same in all of our plots. The one unique parameter we do have here is border color. So border color is just the border of the candle. So we could set this to, let's say, color.pink. Well, not punk. Oh, we can't even use pink. Okay, I would have thought that TradingView would have an inbuilt color for pink. All right, let's just go with aqua. Why not? Save the script, zoom in. You'll see that our border color is now aqua. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know how good the rendering quality of this video will be when I upload it to the course website, but pretty hard to see for me even on my screen. But we do have a aqua border around our candles here. So that's it for the plot candle function. Not much more to cover there in this particular lesson. Let's have a look at the plot bar function. So plot bar, and we'll have a look at what parameters we have. We have quite a few less parameters here. We can't change the wick or border color of bars because they don't have wicks, and the border color, I guess, there's no border on a bar. So we can basically do the same thing here as we just did with our candle. We can pass in the open, high, low, close, and we'll set the color to C as well. So they'll be red and green based on bullish and bearish. And we'll title this just bar and save the script. And now we have bars drawing onto our chart, mimicking price action. I won't cover any of these other parameters because I've already covered those in previous lessons and they're all the same. But there we have bars plotting onto our chart, custom bars. Now, why would you want to plot your own custom bars? Well, there's multiple reasons why you might want to. One example, practical example, would be plotting a higher time frame onto your chart. So for example, we could be on the 1 hour chart and plotting the previous day's bar over price action. Or you could plot trading sessions onto your chart. For example, let me throw on an experimental script I made recently called session candles. I add that to the chart. We're now getting candles plotting down here based on the various trading sessions for the Forex market. So you have the Asia session or Australasia session, which is basically Australia, Japan, and this side of the world. Then you have the London session, European session, and then you have the American, US session. I can't remember which color's which, but they all correspond to a different session. And if I merge this, move to existing pane above, now we have those bars drawing over my intraday price action. And we have two different scales here, which is a problem. I need to merge this scale over to the right scale. And now the candles should represent the previous day's trading session. So you can see on this big blue candle here, that price began down here. It went down a little bit. So it was this green candle here that began the trading session. It went down a little bit on this wick here. Then it rallied all the way up to this high, and then it closed on this bar here. And so this corresponded to this whole day's trading session for this particular part of the world. So that's one practical example of using custom bars to do something actually useful on your charts. Anyway, that'll do it for this lesson. I'll see you in the next one.